Now see, BET done denied Miss Netta access to the BET Awards. Now she out here giving everybody they walking papers. Let's talk about it. But before we do, y'all please hit the like button or subscribe if you haven't. And if you like what your girl is putting down, please join my memberships too. All right, let's get into what we came here for. The mess. Yeah, Miss Netta is still pissed that she didn't get to pass go or collect her $200 at the BET Awards. And now she out here handing out those slips to everybody. Child, all she wanted to do was to showcase her song and get it on the map.
Charles, your lunch is ready. I only cook for you. Charles, your lunch is ready.
And the people said they didn't want to hear it, pal. So right after that, there was an issue of Miss Netta not paying the hairstylist, Asia, who did her hair for the award show. Then there were some issues with Miss Netta and Charles acting a fool at the hotel that they were staying in. Just a whole bunch of mess. Now, I believe there's three sides to every story. Your side, they side, and the truth. Here's Miss Netta's side, child.
Okay. Okay. Whoa, okay, y'all. Miss Netta fool. So, we have 8-hour lunch. So let's get a little deeper. Y'all, some of y'all know that we got on TK's
2K.
Oh, 2K, I'm sorry. 2K podcast last night. He did an interview with Miss Netta and Charles. Y'all see, the day before he did the interview with the young lady, Asia, the one that said that Carlos didn't give her money. So there was another girl that was out of Birmingham called Miss Brown Weeds. She wanted a little clout too. She wanted a little clout last night and stuff too. And Miss Netta had to shut her down. You know, y'all know Miss Netta, I can be rude, I can be nice. But when you coming on here telling lies and stuff, you know, then I can be very rude. So she got on here and she did try to say I owed her some money. Well, that's what she said to 2K. That's what she said to 2K yesterday. So when I seen her going on 2K to go and talk about me that owed me money, so I contact 2K. I'm like, baby, he would rather hear my story way better than hearing your story. So anyway, Miss Netta knocked her out the box. So he did my interview. And he decided to bring her on. So he brought her on. And she, instead of her coming in there and do what she's supposed to do, was to tell these people that I owe her money and stuff, she come on there, she want to ask Miss Netta some questions about what do I got going on in my life and what is my plans. And I kept telling her, baby, this is not what we're on this interview for. We was on this interview because you were saying I owe you money. So she said, okay, there go Miss Netta again. My point across, I asked the question, baby, we don't have time to answer your question. We got a whole bunch of people on here that want to ask questions to me and Miss Netta. To Miss Netta and Charles. And you ain't one of them. You said the accusations that you made towards me is that I owed you money. So that's what we're going to talk about, this money that I owe you. So she came out her mouth and she said, I never said you owe me money. So I said, okay, well, you got to go because you are one of the cloud chasers and you tried to get over here on his show to try to bash me and make me look bad. But I got on here in person. You can't tell that lie when I'm on the phone. So anyway, he went on ahead and kicked her on off the line because she needs to be kicked off because that's what she was trying to do. Get some type of cloud. Miss Brown wig, it didn't happen. Goodbye. It didn't happen. So anyway, we got further and further and further in our conversation, and our conversation was about our management team. So I went ahead and announced last night that we don't have a management team anymore. We are free agent. The whole team that was a part of this BET stuff is GONE. It's gone. Because that was it for me. You know, everybody trying to get on here and try to make me seem like that I was a liar and I was delusional and all this and all that. I was not a liar and I was not a delusion. I was not delusional. It was told to me by Carlos that we were going to the BET Award. By him being the manager, he having us to promote this. Y'all make sure y'all tell these people y'all walking on the red carpet. Y'all make sure y'all doing it. And we did just that. We had another person involved. Excuse me. We had another person involved that was Roy Thomas out of Arlington, Texas. He was the publicist. So he's supposed to have the connection with the BET Award. So Carlos was contacting Roy for our tickets or whatever we needed to be or whatever for the BET Awards. This right here was told to us in, I'll say, the end of April, maybe beginning of May, that this was we were going, because Charles and I had recently had planned a trip. We were going to the DR. So we canceled our trip to the DR because we thought we were going to be in the BET Awards, the red carpet. I never was thinking I was going in the BET Awards. That ain't what I wanted. My thing was, I wanted us to walk the red carpet. That was it. We could have went home after that. But either or, neither one of it happened. It didn't happen. So the delusion didn't come from me. The delusion came from those other two people, which is Carlos and which was Roy. Because them was the one that was having us to pump y'all up that we're going to the BET Awards, which Carlos didn't know that all of this stuff was about to go down. Roy knew. Roy knew about the whole situation. I don't know. I still haven't talked to Roy to this day. I tried to get in contact with Roy because Roy owns Pinky's Restaurant in Arlington, Texas. So I looked up Pinky Restaurant in Arlington, Texas. That's why we met Roy at. And I tried to contact Roy, but guess what?
So as I was looking into Mint, I was thinking like, okay, what's the catch? Like,
baby, his number is shut off. Therefore, these people that start probably y'all people, which is my followers, which is fine because I love y'all, probably harass the man restaurant till he got a new telephone number because that number don't even exist anymore. Thank y'all for that because somebody needed to do something because he was wrong for what he did to us. Anyway, so by that being said, instead of me just getting rid of the PR, I just said, I'm done with the whole team. The whole entire team, which is Carlos as well, too. Carlos didn't get notified until last night about the letting him go part. I ain't gonna call it a fire, because that's what 2K said he fired. But I just said we separated parts. We let him go. We let everybody go off that team. So right now, me and Charles is free agents. We're gonna try to work this out for a little while by ourselves. Just for a little while.
Now, as y'all can see, they pretty much let go of everybody, but really couldn't pinpoint who really dropped the ball, in my opinion. Let's take a look at their side, which will be Carlos, the former manager, and Asia, the hairstylist side. Now bear with brother Carlos, y'all, cause he's telling the story, but the brother seems like he struggles with ADHD, cause he's all over the place. Honey, he couldn't manage nothing of mine. But let's take a look.
I've always tried to advise them, simply shut the fuck up. You don't have to say anything. That's why they told you when the BET Awards shit came around. I said, you don't have to say anything, right? You know, we'll hire another publicist. We'll let the publicist put a statement out for you. That's simple as that, all right? Every celebrity I work with always had a publicist. The publicist speak on their behalf, okay? The publicist speak on their behalf. Let's talk about the BET Awards. I know y'all want to talk about that. Let's go ahead and talk about the BET Awards. All right, so bam. We were actually, so this is the full gamut of the full story, okay? So I got a phone call, actually, here in Las Vegas. This was in April. I got a phone call in April when we were at the hotel. We stayed at the Caesars Palace in April when they went to go to Lunell's show, the comedian. Lunell, the comedian. They went to go see her, hang out with her, take pictures with her, you know, go to her comedy show, all that on a Sunday or Monday night because he only does her residency here in Vegas on Sunday or Monday. I was actually here in Vegas when I got a phone call from someone that wanted to book them. So this guy, his name was Roy. All right, he owned a restaurant in Arlington, Texas, and he also is opening up a restaurant. He called and maybe he sent an email. I forgot how, but I ended up calling him because he wanted to book. So I'm like, you're going to book them? All right, cool. So now this is how the bookings work. Okay, if the bookings happen at a club or venue. I mean, at a club that happened through the booking agent. If it was a restaurant trying to book them, then I handled those things because the prices weren't the same, right? We're not charging $3,500 for a restaurant, when that's the same thing we charge for a club, so the prices are different. So I handle those kind of things. So this guy Roy called and we started talking, all right? All right, Roy talks about his work, all right? Roy is a legitimate publicist, all right? Roy has legitimate clients. Roy is a Hollywood publicist. Roy works with people like Tiana Taylor. He actually works with a guy named Kelvin Rodan. All right, Kelvin Rodan has 11 million followers on his Instagram. Right? He worked with people, with those individuals. Okay, so Roy called and initially wanted to book them. We got to talking, and he's like, "Hey, I'm actually a publicist. They don't have a publicist. I would love to work with them." And so I'm like, "Okay, cool. All right." So they never had BET on their mind. All right, it was in April or May when Roy started saying, "Hey, I'm going to get them on the red carpet for the BET Awards." Okay, I'm going to get them on the red carpet for the BET Awards. All right, so for the latter part of from May up into June, from April around about April or so up into June for about 2 months, Roy, we talk almost weekly, sometimes daily. Because of the things that he was going to do. Roy was also the publicist to be able. So the reason, the truth as to why we never put the reality show out, because Roy was actually working on being able to get them a larger deal with the network who would actually pay them. Right? So one of these bigger networks to actually pay them for a reality show, and we filmed something completely different. That was the reason, the honest reason as to why we never put the reality show out, because we was waiting to, Roy sent press releases out. His job was to send press releases out and actually serve as the fucking publicist. All right, your voice is ugly. I don't give a fuck. You ugly, and you probably fat as shit too. Your fat ass. Take your fat ass on. Y'all don't be having to be here. Y'all be wanting to be nasty and mean to folk, but you don't have to be here. So shut the up, sit back, and listen and enjoy the fucking content. That's all you gotta do. Nobody asked you to fucking be here. Okay? Nobody. I didn't ask you to be here. You decided to be here. You chose to be here. So shut up. Okay? Live. Yes, I'm a cussing pastor. Shut the fuck up. Don't y'all always criticize. Shut up. Shut up. Just shut the fuck up. All you have to do is literally shut the fuck up. It's just that simple. It's 1 + 1 is 2 for the slow folk in the back. Okay, 1 + 1 is 2. All you gotta do is be quiet, shut the fuck up. Simple as that. You don't have to say shit. Okay, you let yourself be known. Okay. I know. Come over to my live. Now that nigga told y'all to come over to my live. That's what I'm saying. That nigga only care about social media. That nigga don't do shit outside of social media. I'm in a hotel room. I'm in Las Vegas. What? Okay. Anyway, so Roy had been talking about the BET Awards for the betterment of 2 months. Okay. So as a publicist that was hired, that to work with them, and he gave us no reason to not believe the work that he was doing. Okay. He had sent a press release out. He was actively on phone calls with people to actually make things happen, right? So he put me in touch with some people. So he put me in touch with people at Creative Artist Agency, CAA. All right, we hired the Tisa girl with the 50 TikToks. So I'm like, okay, well, let's try to get them signed. All right, they weren't interested in Netta and Charles. All right, we talked to somebody, a guy named Mark over at CAA. Mark was just like, he was like, Mark was like, well, Mark asked like, how much they're booking. We was like, well, it's like between $1,500 and $3,500. He's like, well, somebody of their caliber, they should be about at least $10,000 to $20,000. And so Mark went back, talked to his team, came back, and was like, no, we not interested. So that's kind of how all that kind of worked. Okay. So the way that people are actually invited to the BET Awards is solely through their publicists. Okay. This is more business stuff that people do not know. Okay. Manager's job is to not get you in place. That's not what a manager does. Okay. A manager's job is to simply manage the opportunities that you have. Okay. That's it. That's their only job. They're not to get you booked in places, not to do none of that shit there. All right. That's a publicist's job. Publicist's job is going to make sure that you show up to the events like movie premieres. Like they got invited to, was it Carmelo Anthony? It was Carmelo Anthony was having a, one of the NBA players was having a movie premiere, okay, in Los Angeles. Roy invited them to that. They was like, no, we don't want to go to that, all right? And I'm like, well, everybody's going to be there. LeBron James, you know, all these folks are going to be there. But they're like, no, we don't want to go to that. So, you know, that was cool. But that Roy worked to try, you know, to make that happen for them, okay? So now, when it comes time for the BET Awards, all right, I've been in touch with Roy for a minute, okay? I've been in touch with Roy for a minute, okay? So I'm gonna read the actual text messages, all right? I'm gonna read the text.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
So the BET Awards weekend, all right? So we booked their flights at the last minute because I didn't have any information. It's like, are we going to the BET Awards? I'm like, well, Roy hasn't sent any information, so I don't want you all to go to the red carpet. And, you know, and he hasn't sent any information over. So I got with Roy. Okay, all right. So Friday, June 21st. Okay, that says Roy. All right. I said, good morning. Are they still going to the BET Awards? He said, yes, they are. I said, do you have a sponsor for flights and hotel? He said, no. Okay. I said, June 25th. This is on my birthday. Okay. On my birthday. I'm asking. I said, good morning. I need info for this weekend. Okay. I said, Netta, so I talked to him. So we actually talked. We talked on the phone. Okay. We talked on the phone and he was like, yeah, I'm getting everything together for the award. Send me their sizes. All right. So that's why the next message, it says, Netta is extra large if the material stretch and Charles is extra large shirt and a 42 in pants. So also the next day, all right, hadn't heard back. I said, any updates? I called him. He said 2 minutes on phone. Then he called me back. I said, give me 1 minute. I'm in class. I was teaching at the time that he called me. I said, give me about 10 minutes. He said, okay. I called him back. And I'll call you back. All right. I said, I just need details. They're landing in LA in about an hour. He said, I'm on a conference call with Live Nation. Then I called him again on the 28th. He said 5 minutes. I said, okay. On June 28th, okay, I said, I really hope they can walk the red carpet. They have spent, I said spend, but I meant spent. What I said, okay, I corrected myself. They have spent money on wardrobe and getting to LA this weekend. They have actually ran out of a little money to make this trip. Okay, he said, I'm working on, well, you know, I was trying to exaggerate there to kind of make him hurry up and do his job. So I, you know, I was like, well, they spent money, they spent all their money. Please make this happen. All right. So I was trying to exaggerate to him to make sure that this was going to happen. Okay. He said, working on it. I said, okay, thank you. Then I said, please let me know about tonight as well. They are anxious. They were supposed to have events that night. This is the night they're supposed to go to the Cardi B concert. So that never came to fruition. He said, I have a fashion LGBTQ event for them to attend tonight. Have fashion. All right. He sent the flyer over. There's going to be VIP guests. All right. The event tonight, it is approved. All right. And said, then I asked him, I said, well, what time should they get there? He said between 11. This is you can't see the time, but he said between 11, he said 11 p.m. I land in Vegas here for 45 minutes. I call you back. Then I said, do you have any updates? So I was still asking about the BET Awards. Okay. Then he said, then I asked him, I said, what are the plans for today? This is on Saturday, the 29th. He said, last is tonight. My bad. I was sleeping. Didn't get in to daybreak. Jamie sent the credentials for BET this afternoon. I will give Mountain, the promoter, your number. I'm going to call you in 2 hours. Okay. So, you know, I'm like, all a man has is his word. Okay. That's all a person has is their word. Okay. He said, you saw it there. He said, Jamie, send the credentials for BET this afternoon. Okay. So I'm like, cool. So to me, that sounds like things are still on go. Okay. For the BET Awards, for their credentials, which the publicist is supposed to actually make happen. Okay. All right. So you called me 2 hours. I said, okay. I just landed in Dallas, head to LA in a few hours. He said, I'll call you back because I tried to call. I said, I need details for tonight, time, what's going on, etc. Then I said, I really need details for tonight. This is a little wild. Time it went by. He didn't say anything. So I'm like, I really need details for tonight. Then that night, Saturday, he said, be there at 10. This is at 9. Okay, he said, be there at 10:30. So he wanted them to be there somewhere in 30 minutes, and Netta didn't have her hair or makeup at that juncture. Okay, he said, King Titus performing his new single, and I rep him as well. Mountain is the promoter, his number. He sent his number. Okay. Then I asked him, what's the plan for tomorrow? All I was really worried about was the BET Awards. That's all I cared about. All right, make sure they got a chance to do that. So what's the plan for tomorrow? I never got a call from Jamie or text. Then I said, we still have no information for tomorrow. This is not good. I said, good morning. Any word on today? This is Sunday at 8:19 in the morning on the day of the BET Awards. Okay. Then I said, I'm getting really nervous about today. We haven't heard anything. They have spent their last money on traveling here for this weekend for today. All right. I'm still trying to exaggerate to him that this needs to happen. I said, any update? Text him back, 11:25. He said, I'll call you back. Then I said, do you have any word on today? He said, on phone with Jamie right now. Okay. I said, okay, please let me know. They are almost finished getting ready. Then, so we talked. There's supposed to be a Bentley to come pick them up. I said, is there a Bentley still picking them up? Any update? Are there any updates? So it looks like they aren't going to the red carpet. Then I said, I just need to know what to tell them. They're asking me questions and I have no answers for them. I said, Roy, you have been planning this for 2 months and have completely let us down. We have spent money to fly here and rent hotel rooms that aren't cheap. This is truly disappointing. They spent $2,000 on clothes for today. They're not celebrities with money to waste. You haven't given us any instructions or anything. This is beyond terrible. Okay, so that's pretty much what happened with the BET Awards. Now with the girl, okay, the hairstylist. All right.
Now, since his response, Miss Netta has thrown out there that Carlos may be in love with the Coco. Those are her words and not mine. But that behavior was a little erratic, sir.
In the Alabama shit instead of the shit you had them wearing, because you can't tell Joe shit. You can't tell that nigga nothing. That nigga gonna go and do what the fuck he want to do any fucking way. That nigga, he know every fucking thing. And if you knew shit, you wouldn't be in the fucking goddamn trailer park. So
Yeah, that's how he feel about it. Now, in Carlos' video, he's trying to put the blame on the publicist, Roy, whomever that is. Child, I ain't even take the time to find out. Because once the he say, she say, go past 2 people, baby, I'm gone. So the hairstylist did do an interview on the Love and Sip Hop show. Shout out to him. Let's hear her side.
For free, but I will say that like the assistant who was working with her initially, she was like, that person was so last minute. So that first opportunity we never got to meet. When they came back for the Zeus interview, Carlos reached out to me and he was like, okay, can you do it this time? I'm like, yeah, they fired them. And it was just trying to get their team together to get like a really good foundation, which is understandable because you don't know who you hiring until you see the real them, you know?
Right.
So Carlos reached out. I've asked Carlos for his number since he ever like started talking to me. Carlos has never communicated with me through a text or call or anything. He's only wrote me on Instagram messaging. So
on IG only. So that's your only form of contact with him.
Only form of contact. I never had Miss Netta's contact. I never had Charles's contact. Only Carlos's, and only his IG at that. So at that point, I kind of only communicated about everything through Carlos because what I thought at least was that he was the one who manages everything, so he controls the money and things like that.
And see, I got a theory on that. I think that Carlos is also Roy. See,
I'm with your theory.
Okay.
Something ain't right.
Siding with Asia, I think Roy and Carlos are the same people. And I think Miss Netta got tired of running in circles with Roy/Carlos and just gave them all the boot. Which she pretty much said in her video, and that she didn't have any problems before having a management team. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I agree. But y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think about this mess. And please hit the like button on your way out or subscribe if you haven't.